Can I come in?
What's up, guys? Welcome to a lustful edition of Celebrity Mixer, and I'm your host, Alexus Renee. And today's episode will include the beautiful Keri Hilson, the handsome Tank, and Tobias Truvillion. Now, we're going to talk all things lustful. It's going to get hot and steamy. Tank is going to have his shirt off, ladies. Okay? So turn on that post notification so you can stay up to date for all these amazing interviews like this one. But remember, if you stay right here, we'll keep you mixed in. Okay, so my very first question goes to you, Shaun. How important was it for you to tell the story of lust?
It was not only entertaining, it was, it was sexy. It had the message that, the wages of sin that we've heard about. And a person like me, I've been raised in the church. And so I optioned the entire series. I knew Victoria Christopher Murray. I optioned the entire series. And it was interesting as I was beginning the pitching process in Hollywood. A number of people said that they loved the idea of the 7 deadly sins, and it was something that had not been made in Hollywood. There was a movie I think it was Brad Pitt or years ago, but in terms of a series like this, it had not been made. In keeping with Bishop Jakes' brand, it has to be a message at the end of the movie. And that's what these are. There are messages at the end of these films. And they're things that we struggle with all the time. Who hasn't struggled at some point in their life with lust? Or, if we hopefully we'll make the entire series. We got wrath, pride, sloth, gluttony, and one more. I can't remember the other one. Greed. That's right. Greed. See, everybody knows these stories. And so I think that the audience, I'm glad that you guys love the movies. I think that the audience will not only be entertained, but there will be a takeaway.
Now, Keri, the last time we talked to you, we were discussing your previous movie, Don't Waste Your Pretty, and that vibrator scene, baby, I could not forget it, okay? Okay, so my next question is for you, Keri, and Tank, you can answer too if you like. Have you ever found yourself being tempted like the character in the movie?
Oh, absolutely. Temptation is part of life. There's no man or woman walking this earth that is not tempted. Maybe the frequency changes. But yeah, I think you're not human if you're not tempted by something at some point. You're going to face that, and you're going to have to make a decision to go right or left, and hopefully you go right.
So Tank, the last time we sat down with you, we were at a concert for Genuine, and you were actually a special guest on my show. Which one of the 7 deadly sins do you feel you struggle with the most?
I think that it would probably fall in the lust category. It would fall in that space. You know what I mean? That's very much an arena that I dabble in often. You know what I mean? And there are dangers, playing with that kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? And so, I spoke to a question earlier, like the fight is every day. You know what I mean? Being in environments, some conscious, some unconsciously, that could lead, or even if not lead, could look like a certain thing. You know what I mean? And so there's a daily battle and a daily struggle to get the lust off me. You know what I'm saying? We are all a work in progress, but I just think that it goes back to that thing that I said. You just every day you have to choose. You got to choose right. You got to choose right, even within your profession, even within your environment, all of those things.
Tobias, the last time we seen you, we actually didn't get a chance to do a one-on-one interview, but we did do a phoner, and we were discussing your Love to Death movie. Okay, so this question is for Tobias and Tank. So my question is, how do you keep yourself from lusting over so many beautiful women? You work with them on film, in your music videos, TV shows, whatever it is you may be doing. And then how do you keep your marriage life alive and spicy?
As an actor, as an artist, you give yourself up, you sacrifice. So, my vessel is a sacrifice. So, understanding that and having a intelligent wife and a respectful wife and a trustworthy wife is so important. You know, having anybody, any kind of support system when you're, you know, met with some kind of resistance is so important. That's the key. You know, I wouldn't be able to perform. I wouldn't be able to do those things. I wouldn't be able to do, you know, to bring life to these characters if I didn't have that, you know, foundation behind me to say, hey man, you can do this. It's okay, make it work. You know, energy, you can't lie about energy, you know. So when I'm, you know, working with Keri or some other, you know, wonderful leading lady, but Keri, you know, the energy's there, you know, the magnetism's there. So we just make sure that we carry that over and brought it to the camera. And you know, that's our job, is to be vulnerable and project these characters in an authentic way. Anybody that wants to continue a happy life needs to work on commitment, loyalty, to have God in your corner, and to be transparent. I think transparency is key. Being able to talk about things when they're uncomfortable is the main thing. We have to, you know, continue to keep these conversations going. Being able to talk about community, being able to, you know, it's okay to not have, you know, the same views or ideas, you know, the okay to disagree kind of thing. Sometimes we have to meet people where they're at. Sometimes love is not, you know, sometimes you fall in love with a person, but they didn't fall in love with you. They had to learn to love you. So understanding who you are as an individual, as a person, and having God in yourself is the key thing, you know, foundation before you could give to anybody. So I would tell anybody to make sure that they're solid with themselves, that they're committed to themselves. As men, we need to, you know, spend time developing our empire, developing our financial literacy, developing ourselves, our character, before we can even provide and pour into a woman. So there's a lot of stuff that men need to do, women need to be accountable for, to help relationship grow and prosper.
I think, you know, there's support, you know, when having to deal, especially in the acting space with beautiful women. But there's also a questionnaire that has to be answered too at all times. You know what I mean? Was there kissing? And during the kissing, was there tongue? Was there a clothing barrier during anything? You know what I'm saying? And these are questions you got to answer the right way. You know, marriage is on the line. And, you know, it kind of goes, you know, to what Tobias was just kind of saying, like, you know, you can't fake energy. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of what you see, you know, in those spaces, like there is attraction, there is magnetism. And, you know, so what has to happen is that, you know, once that camera goes off and once you leave that set, you know, you can't carry that attraction and magnetism over to the Hilton. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to leave it right there where it is and go on the set and go home. You understand what I'm saying? Go home. Oh, don't take your work, amen, to the holiday ends. Because, you know, you have to. This is something that you have to choose every day. You know what I'm saying? Every hour of the day. You have to be conscious about that decision to maintain that loyalty to the thing that you just decided to be loyal to. So it's a decision you have to make every day. There is lust, there is temptation, there are all these things that take place. But the fight continues every day.
Yeah. Hey, integrity are those things that are unseen. Yep,
absolutely.
Okay, last question for you, Tank. So your character Trey is very attractive, untrustworthy, and vengeful. So tell me, what was it like playing Trey?
No, I think it was kind of cool that I was able to add the lustful vibe to the film. In other parts of my career, this is kind of the thing that I sell on a day-to-day. So well versed in the ways of lust. Amen. But I mean, I think the lesson in this film, I think it's simple. It's just that the grass is not always greener. You know what I mean? And so sometimes things appear to be, you know, what you're looking for, but what was really happening is I think there was just a communication breakdown. I think the more you know, Tiffany and Damon communicated even throughout all the turmoil, they started to understand each other better in terms of what their needs were and what they wanted from each other. And I just popped in at the right time when there happened to be a need that they hadn't been communicating about. You know what I mean? So I was kind of feeling a void. And so you got to be careful, you know, out in these streets, when you're not communicating properly and you have voids missing, and then you run into something that appears that it may be feeling that, because that's when those mistakes can happen. So please don't be at the bar having too much Hennessy with a void, and the rest could be really bad history, or as you see how this movie turns out.
Well, thank you guys. I totally appreciate you taking a second to speak with me today. You all did a phenomenal job. Again, congratulations, kudos, and I can't wait to see you guys in more and more films. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoy our coverage of the new movie, Lust, with the amazing cast, Keri Hilson, Tank, and Tobias Truvillion. Now, it will be premiering on Lifetime Network April 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you tune in. Now, to stay up to date with more interviews like this one, please go to celebritymixer.com. That's Mixer with a Y. Of course, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. I'm your girl, Alexus Renee, and you've just been mixed in.